we are going to be working with the quotient of powers. Quotient means that you're going to be dividing. So you are dividing powers. That's what it means. So if we're going to be dividing, or what I want to do is explain how this works, okay? So you have 5 to the 6. That means that you have 5 factors. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? And all of this is going to be divided by 5 to the third power. So you have 3 factors. That would be 1, 2, and 3. So now 5 divided by 5, you get 1, and the same thing happens here, right? So in other words, you have 6 of them on the numerator, you can count them, and then 3 in the denominator. So the way how I like to do it is this way. If I have 6 and I have 3 in the denominator, at the most that I can cancel will be 3 of them, and you can see them. And out of 6, I'm going to cancel also 3 of them. So the answer should be 5 to the third power. Whenever you cancel everything, you must write it, on this case, over 1. And 5 to the third power is going to be divided by 1. It's going to be 5 to the third power based on this, because that's how many factors you have. And you can see the leftover should be in the numerator, which is here. Knowing this, then x to the second power divided by x to the sixth. I have 2 factors on top, 2 of them on the numerator, and 6 in the denominator. That means that I can cancel only 2. Out of 6, you cancel 2 of them. So you end up with x to the fourth power. But you see how you cancel all of it right here? So you must write a 1. This is going to be a fraction. 1 over x to the fourth. And that will be the answer. Mm, sorry about that. Now, look at number 12 and 4. Whenever you can divide, go ahead and divide. 12 divided by 4, you're going to end up with 3. Okay? Now, look at x. This one should be x to the fourth power. And then this one will be x to the fourth. So at the most that you can cancel should be 1. Out of 4, you cancel 1. You're going to end up with x to the third power. And that's the answer. The reason why I like to do it this way, is because you can see it's gonna get a little bit more difficult as we continue working with this. And let's do the next one. Okay. For this one, how many factors do I have? Well, I have 3. That means I have 2 times 2 times 2. And this one is gonna be 2 to the first power. If you don't see the exponent is gonna be 1. So that means that I can cancel only 1. Out of 3, I can cancel only 1. So I'm going to end up with 2 to the second power. Now look at the variable x, right? This one. The exponent is gonna be 1. And this one is 7. So that means I have 7 factors, and here I have only 1. So at the most that I can cancel would be 1, right? So out of 7, I cancel 1, and I'm gonna end up with x to the sixth power. And that would be in the denominator. That's where I have the most of them. And now look what happens to y to the fourth power divided by y to the eighth. As the most that I can cancel should be only 4. Okay. Out of 8, I can cancel only 4 of them. So because I have more in the denominator, that means that I'm gonna end up with y to the fourth. Okay. And on this case, that would be the answer. On this case, if they want to simplify, by the way, then you just have to multiply 2 times 2. And the answer should be 4 divided by x to the 6 times y to the 4th power. Okay, so more likely that's what they might ask you to do. Okay, and the next one, for this one, I have 14 divided by 7. That one is straightforward, right? You can actually divide, so you're gonna get 2. Then look at the variable x. I have 11 in the numerator and 6 in the denominator. So that means that if I divide, I can cancel 6 of them. Out of 11, I cancel 6. I'm going to end up with x to the 5th power. Okay? Then look at y to the 2nd power. I have only 2 on the numerator and 5 in the denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel only 2 of them. Out of 5, I cancel 2 of them. And I'm going to end up with y to the 3rd power. Okay, and just it's easy for you to see where is going to be the leftover, right? You have 2 on top, 5 in the denominator, and of course when you cancel them, you can cancel 2 out of 5, you cancel 2, the leftover should be here in the denominator. Okay, now z to the 3rd power, and then this, if you don't see the exponent should be 1. You have to be the one who has to write it. And if you don't write it, it's okay as long as you remember that this is going to be 1. And now we can cancel. Okay. So at the most that you can cancel will be 1. Okay. Out of 3, you also cancel 1. Right. And you can see you have more in the numerator. So the answer should be z to the 2nd power. All of this means multiplication, okay? 2 times x to the 5th times z to the 2nd power, and all of this is going to be divided by y to the 3rd power. Okay, so that's what it means. And now let's do the last one. Okay, so you have 2 to the 4th power. That means that you have 4 factors on the numerator, and all of this is going to be divided by 2 to the 5th. So on this case, you have 4 factors on top, 5 factors in the denominator. So at the most that you can cancel will be 4 of them. Out of 5, you cancel 4 also. And once you cancel it, because once you divide, right, they will cancel, you end up with only 1 factor. Because the exponent is 1, you're never going to write the 1. So we're just going to write 2. Okay? Now that would be a to the 3rd power divided by a to the 1st power. So that means that at the most that I can cancel should be 1. Here, at the most that I can cancel should be also 1. So the answer should be a to the 2nd power. Then the variable b, you don't see the exponent is going to be 1. So that means that at the most that I can cancel should be 1. Out of 4, I cancel 1, and you end up with b to the 3rd power. And now the last one. I have the variable c to the 6th power, and then c to the 9th power. At the most that I can cancel will be 6. Out of 9, I cancel 6. So I'm going to end up with c to the 3rd power. This means that a squared is divided by 2 times b to the 3rd power times c to the 3rd power. And that would be the answer. Okay.